Need to carry a phone? The kids thank you. Very simple compliance story. Though the anti-work would simply call it appropriate. Coming out of COVID, the company I work for decided that most employees need to have company phones covers several bases. Any messages between colleagues would be recorded and tracked. Any phone conversations would be registered. And of course, the employees now have 24 hours access to emails and can be contacted at any time. As an employee who values hard, but also believes in work-life balance, this struck a sour chord. So I comply. I carry the phone, but I don't log into it, so I cannot do email or messages. My opinion is that if something important happens, they can call me, and we can work it out from there. As it turns out, the phone also has unlimited hotspot capability. The kids now use it whenever we travel, and pester me to ensure it's not forgotten on road trips. Oh, I'm logged into mine, but it's silenced outside of working hours for everything except the official on-call app, which I'm paid for. This happened to me during COVID and I did the same thing. My carrier limited hotstop data and the work phone was unlimited. Internet everywhere for everyone, haha. I just turn mine off after work hours, but usually turn it back on before work hours. Since I have a team of more than 10, and they may wish to call in sick before work starts, their well-being is my priority. If they need to get back to bed or go to the doctors, I want them to have the flexibility to do that without having to worry about calling in during working hours. A long time ago, I got my second company phone. I had a flip phone before for the company, but this was a new BlackBerry. So some time ago, I was salary, so whatever. I would constantly check my email dings after work and even respond as well as other stuff. My wife asked me why I'm spending so many hours essentially working for free with no benefits for me. I'm not going to get raises for responding to emails at 8 p.m. and it's really just they're not for after hours but to call me when I'm working but not near a phone line. So I turned off notification sounds and when I came home I put the phone somewhere where I could hear it ring but not be close so it'd be easy just to check on things. I was a lot better off. I now have a company pager. Last time I got a company phone, I never even took it out of the box. It's still in the box after all these years. My phone number is still in the gal and my boss asks me about it every once in a while. I tell my box they can have it back but I'm never going to activate it or take it out of the box. I also don't carry my pager after work ever. My boundary is clear that I'm only to be paged during my normal work times. I have a work phone. If I get called I book it as work hours, which rarely happens, and I use the phone as navigation when I drive, since I have a work car with private usage and my private phone isn't connected to it. Interesting and slightly wicked thoughts happening here. I have a company phone simply because I flatly refuse to have any company software on my phone. The company phone stays on the nightstand charging pad and if the boss feels it's actually critical to reach me he, a former tech, will call and ask me to check in. He's a good sort who won't abuse the privilege and only uses the backstop if something is on fire or someone is missing a limb. The old boss was pretty cool too, and got immediately why I didn't want company tracking software on my personal phone. And they pay employees for off-hours work, right? Right? When I'm not on the schedule, and you call me outside of that schedule, I'm operating as an independent consultant. My rates are $50 a minute, with a minimum 30-minute billing time per call. As it turns out, the phone also has hotspot capability. The kids now use it whenever we travel, and pester me to ensure it's not forgotten on road trips. You might want to be careful about that. Your employer might be decidedly unhappy about that. And your employer will also have access to any of the traffic logs your kids generate. Before we had a law stating that calling, emailing, nagging employees outside work hours is illegal. A friend of mine was forced to accept a company phone. He hated it. He was also supposed to take it with him even during vacation. I don't know who was the most stubborn, my friend or the company who kept replacing them. I know, however, that my friend was the most imaginative. His phones went to an early grave in so many ways it was amazing. He didn't do twice the same thing. From falling into the toilets, falling from the window, being crushed by the car, bitten by the dog, fried by a power surge. Always wondered how he managed to do this one. Hammered by his young son playing with his tools. Crushed while slamming his car door shut. Lost while mountain climbing. Drowned while white river rafting. Between those activities he mostly forgot the charger. Or to charge the phone. I always considered his war of the phone to be the most inspiring example of stubbornness at work. I am certain that when he left the company, the person responsible for buying those phones was very relieved. Dang. Unlimited hotspot. Too bad you can't get calls on your off hours. That is a shame. Note the sarcasm dripping from that last phrase. Should check local laws about off-duty calls. The phone will provide a record of all hours worked off the clock. And of course, the employees now have 24 hours access to emails and can be contacted at any time. Nope, unless they're paying me extra for the privilege of being bugged off the clock. That phone is being left at work if at all possible, or turned off outside of work hours otherwise. What is so weird? Back in the BlackBerry days, we could have multiple phone lines, same now. But now, we cannot have our personal number and work her on the same device if you want to turn off notifications for work, or different ringer tones or text message tones. No, that's too complicated. And if you choose to select turn off phone line, well, any callers get not your VM, they get the number you have reached is no longer in service. Seriously. 20 years ago this was just the norm. Now, nope. No can do. Thank you Apple for your support. For most companies, work-life balance means, you're working for us is your life, the 24th of July 365. We use our personal phones as a tool for our WFH efforts. But we can't have email or official communications through them. This does create a nice balance. And very few people have my number because of an incident. Definitely limit when you use it. And absolutely make them foot the bill for having to have it on you. Glad there's a benefit. I only carry mine when I travel for work and as a backup hotspot for when I sell in Artist Alley. At Comic Cons. Otherwise, it's always plugged in on my desk at home. I'm remote, and it automatically goes to D&D outside of work hours. I have a very firm belief in keeping work and life very separate. I don't have work email on my phone. Don't have work time clock software on it. And definitely no Teams software. I do have Duo and the patient portal, but use both of those outside of work. If they want me to check mail, be available, they can provide a phone and pay me. Go ahead and log in. It can potentially save your ass if it becomes a he said I said issue. But the do not disturb feature is also ever present and usable. I think you can also set it up on a schedule. So it happens every day starting at a certain time. Unless they're willing to pay you for off hours. Of course.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.